Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. Today I'm going to be tier ranking every thriller I've ever read. I know, that's a lot. I actually am going to be tier ranking 200 thrillers in this video, and that is not even every thriller I've read. I cut out anything that was mystery, that was mostly dark romance, that skewed more horror, and I cut out all the YA. So I have 200 adult books that I'm going to be tier ranking for you. But before we get into the video, let me just tell you about our sponsor today, which is Ren. Ren is a company that is working to combat the climate crisis, and that is something that I'm really passionate about, so I'm super excited to have them as a sponsor. Basically what you do is you go on their website, which is ren.co, and you fill out some information about the way you live, you know, just your daily life, and it will tell you how much of a carbon footprint you have. Everyone's lifestyle emits CO2, which is harmful for the environment, and through Ren you can figure out the ways that you are doing it so you can reduce your carbon footprint, and they also offer a way where you can donate and offset your carbon footprint. It's a super simple and effective way to combat the climate crisis if you are like me and you've been looking for something that you can actually do that's practical and will make a difference. That's why Ren is here. And if you sign up to make monthly contributions, you will get monthly updates from all of the projects you support. So you can see exactly what your money is being spent on and how you're helping improve the world and combat the climate crisis. Cameron and I have been watching nature documentaries, and we recently watched something about the Great Barrier Reef. I was so excited to see it. And then it just made me really sad because it is not nearly as beautiful as it used to be, and it just made me really acutely aware of the climate change crisis we are in right now as a whole world. But sometimes it can feel really overwhelming, like what can I actually do? And this is a great way to help out. So go ahead and click my link down below and check out Ren. The first 100 people who sign up will have 10 extra trees planted in their name, which is so cool. Go plant some trees, click the link down below, and thank you so much to Ren for sponsoring this video. Now let's go ahead and get into the books. All right, so here are the tiers that I have. The top tier is my best of all time top favorite thrillers ever. The next step down is, it's a great book, but it's just not a favorite. So these are gonna be like 4.5 and 4-star books. Under that is a good fun time, but forgettable. We all know there's thrillers that are a good time in the moment, but they are definitely not memorable. The tier after that is personally, I don't like it. This could be, you know, a book that I personally just don't like the trope that it was playing on, or I didn't like the twist, but maybe somebody else would like it. The last category is burn it. I think it's a horrible book and it simply should be burned. So let's go ahead and get into it since there are 200 books to go through. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and give a synopsis of 200 books, but I will try to give a little bit of information. The first book here we have is The Other People by C.J. Tudor. This has to do with a missing daughter and some dark web things. I'm going to say personally, I did not really like this one. There were just some things with the writing style that I didn't enjoy. And I think it's safe to say I don't like C.J. Tudor's writing style because I'm gonna put the Chalk Man there as well. Long Bright River, okay, so this is kind of a slower paced thriller about two sisters. Sorry to be so negative at the very start, but I'm gonna say personally I didn't like it. It was just too slow paced for me. It wasn't exciting. I can't remember any of the twists, so they obviously did not stand out to me. The Butcher by Jennifer Hillier is an all-time favorite. I can remember reading that book like it was yesterday. It is so fast-paced. I swear it's like an action movie. Last House Guest, I would say it's great, but it's not a favorite. I think I gave this book 4.5 stars. It's a cute little isolated beach thriller with some ominous vibes. Pretty baby. I would say it's a good time, but it's definitely forgettable. Mary Kubica books, I feel like, are often like that. I think this whole category might be Mary Kubica. Woman in the Window, I will say a good fun time, but forgettable. It's kind of like that same trope over and over and over, where a woman has memory problems and she's an unreliable narrator. She saw something happen out her window and she's caught up in it. It's not the best, but if you need to kill some time or have a good little summer read, I wouldn't not recommend it. The Wrong Family by Taryn Fisher, I say burn it. I hated it. I think I accidentally spoiled it in my wrap up that I talked about it because I didn't realize that the twist was a twist. And that everybody just knew, you know? So if that tells you anything. And there were some like sketchy COVID comments in there. I just did not, no, we don't like it. The Push, I will say it's great. This is a wonderful book, but it's not an all-time favorite, but so, so good. Highly recommend. Three Mrs. Wrights was a good fun time, but definitely forgettable. It's a polygamy situation. Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica is my favorite of hers. It's great, but not a favorite. Lucky Ones by Kirsten Magdalene, such lazy writing, burn it. Silent Patient is obviously a best of all time. I continue to rave about this book. If you don't like this book, I don't really trust you. Like, why? The twist was absolutely insane. I had to stay up till like 3 a.m. because I had to know what was going on in this book. Hidden Bodies. This is the sequel to You by Caroline Kepnes. I'm gonna put that in great, but not a fave. It's just not as good as the original You. The Club. Personally, I didn't like it. I just thought it was a little bit boring, but I wouldn't burn it. An Anonymous Girl, I really, really liked. It's just not one of my all-time favorites, but I know that's kind of an unpopular opinion. A lot of people really did not like that book. I didn't think it was bad at all. I recommend it. The Shadows, honestly, I forgot the entire plot to that book, other than the fact that it has to do with lucid dreaming. So, Death of Mrs. Westaway, I personally didn't like it as much as other Ruth Ware books. The gothic vibes were just not doing it for me. All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda, burn it. She tried to do something. She tried to tell a thriller backwards, and it just simply did not work out. Never Let You Go by Chevy Stevens is a great, great book about a woman escaping an abusive relationship. Not a favorite, but I would recommend it. Pretty Girls is obviously a favorite of all time. I will put it at the beginning because it is the favorite of all time. It is my brand. It is the best thriller ever written, in my opinion. The One by John Mars is also a favorite of all time, which we'll talk about it. We'll talk about John Mars in a moment, but that book, yes. The others, we'll get to it. Turn of the Key, I gave 5 stars. I really loved it, but again, it's just not an all-time favorite. The Minders by John Mars, literally burn it. So bad. It was so bad. This book is so bad. It is horrible. John Mars, how are you capable of writing The One and then you publish this? Like, and you try to sell it as a sequel or like a follow-up to The One? Hell no. No. And The One gets spoiled in it, like first pages, and you don't even know. Like he never said. Oh my God. I have issues. I have big issues with that book. They All Fall Down. I'm gonna put this in personally, I didn't like it. I think a lot of Agatha Christie retellings end up falling flat for me. It's just the same plot over and over. Last Mrs. Parrish has got to be a best of all time. That is like one of my top 10 thrillers I've ever read. It is the blueprint for a perfectly done domestic thriller. Jar of Hearts by Jennifer Hillier is also a best of all time. It is one of my favorite books, definitely my favorite book that I read last year. Perfect Mother by Amy Malloy. I'm burning it. I know a lot of people don't have strong opinions about this book. I do. The twist was horrifyingly disrespectful and just not something I can support as a feminist woman. Perfect Getaway by Kirsten Magdalene. I'll say it's a good fun time, but forgettable. I remember it being beachy and like a survival story, but I don't really remember the plot. Little Secrets is great, but not a fave. I think The Butcher and Jar of Hearts are better than Little Secrets for me, talking about Jennifer Hillier, but it's still a really great book. Watching You by Lisa Jewell, kind of the same thing. It's a good book. I was surprised by the twist, but not a favorite. Her Dark Lies. This is kind of a guest list ripoff with some paranormal elements. It was a good time, but not the best. Kind of meh. The Other Misses by Mary Kubica. Literally burn it. Same type of twist as The Perfect Mother, where it is just really offensive and not something that I can support. Sometimes I Lie. Ooh, this is hard. I can't tell if I thought that I loved this book so much because it was one of the first books that I read with this trope and this kind of twist, or if it's actually a fave. This would be one that I would like to reread, but for now I'm gonna put it in great, but not a favorite, just to be safe. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife is the tea of it all. It is the most tea-filled thriller I've ever read. It's a best of all time. It is so just deliciously juicy and filled with drama. The Swap, I actually really liked this one. It was really great for me. You Are Not Alone, I think I give this one 2 stars. I wouldn't burn it, but personally it just didn't really work for me. The Siren, I really liked. It's not a favorite. It's more drama than like murder and thriller things happening, but still thought it was great. Magpie Murders, this is also more of a mystery. I probably shouldn't have put that in here, but I thought it was good. It's very heavy, long, hard to get through, which made me forget a lot of the plot, but it's not bad. Take It Back. This is a favorite of all time. So good. Underrated fave. Take It Back by Kia Abdullah. Read it. His and Hers. Only thing I remember about this book is the twist, but I remember having a good time reading it. Pieces of Her. I wouldn't say it's really forgettable, but it's definitely... Oh, am I gonna put a Karen Slaughter and I didn't like it? I think I am. I don't know. It just didn't really do anything for me. It was great writing, but I didn't care about the characters. I wasn't fully invested in the story. Honestly, I thought the show was better, which I rarely say that. No Exit. That's a best of all time. Easily. The End of Her was a good time, but forgettable. It's like a blackmail domestic thriller. Perfect Family was great. This is by Robin Harding. It was her release last year. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So fast-paced domestic thriller. Just not a favorite. Same thing with The Arrangement by Robin Harding. It was toxic, so juicy, so drama. Fierce Kingdom. I would say it's a favorite of all time. It gave me the same vibes as No Exit. I like that these two are next to each other. It feels right. Wife Upstairs. It was fun. I had a good time reading it. Just don't remember it. One of the Girls by Lucy Clark. I just read this, so it's fresh on my mind. I really loved it. I don't know if it's a fave. I might have to think on that one. That one might change, but it's not a fave yet. Before She Knew Him, I didn't like it. It had shoddy mental health rep, and I can't do that. Two Truths and a Lie is an all-time favorite. I feel like I never really talk about this one, but I should more because I really love it. It's a perfect summer thriller about a little island town and all the drama that goes on there. The Maidens. Do I even remember? I mean, I remember the vibes of this book, but I don't remember the plot until the very end. I feel like it's forgettable. I feel like it's not that great. We're running out of room here. Okay, Things We Do in the Dark. That's a favorite. That is a favorite of all time. Hello, get up there. Yeah, Things We Do in the Dark. That's a favorite. Jennifer Hillier's newest release. You Love Me by Caroline Kepnes, I thought was great. That's the 3rd edition of the You series. The Line Game, I also thought was great. Just a standard Ruthie book. The Snowman, personally, I did not like. I cannot follow a male investigator perspective. That is just asking way too much of me. The Girl Before by J.P. Delaney. I don't really like any J.P. Delaney books, but this one wasn't like burning level bad. Girl on the Train. I think at the time that I read it, it was a favorite, but now with so many thrillers under my belt, I'm gonna say it's great. When No One Is Watching, it had something in it that I really, really didn't like. There's like a certain twist that I didn't like, but am I really gonna hold that against it? No. I'll just put it in this category. It's definitely not forgettable. It's definitely not forgettable, but it's not great. And it's not that I didn't like it, it's just good. It's just she's good, she's fine. The Echo Wife, personally, I did not like. There was something about the end that really bothered me, and I felt like the synopsis was the entire book. So if you do want to read this book, do not read the synopsis, just go in blind, or maybe like read the first sentence, because I feel like the book just went nowhere. There were no shocks, there were no surprises, no. Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. I did not mean to put her there. Where did she go? She is the best of all time. Love, love, love Behind Her Eyes. The Third Wife was really great. This one's by Lisa Jewell. It's another like, not polygamy, but like multiple weird family dynamics, fucked up family kind of situation. I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh, also really great. Not a favorite though. Goodnight Beautiful, I really did not like. It kind of played on a really famous book and basically stole the plot. Like, you can reference a really famous book without stealing the entire plot. And I feel like she was trying to make it an homage, but it was just a copy paste. Confessions, I thought was great. Not a favorite though. Gone Girl, y'all, hello. Obviously, we're moving this girl up. This is a favorite of all time. The book that got me into thrillers. If you haven't gotten spoiled yet, count your lucky stars and read it immediately. Lock Every Door. I don't remember anything about this book except for the twist, so I'm gonna say forgettable. Every Last Secret was great. I really liked it, but not a favorite. Favorite Sister, forgettable, don't remember anything about that book. Into the Water, I did like this a lot. I liked it more than The Girl on the Train, but still not a favorite. All I Want by Darcy Bell, this book can burn. If we're burning books, this is the first one I'm throwing into the flames. It literally sucks. I was so invested the whole book. I thought it was going to be a 5-star, and then the last chapter literally made me want to punch a wall like a fucking adolescent white boy. Like, please, please. It was so bad. Woman in Cabin 10. This is another one that I probably would have said is a favorite maybe 5 or 6 years ago, but now I'll just say it was great. True crime story. Good but forgettable, lots of drama, podcast, thriller moment. Welcome to Wherever You Are. This is just the meandering thoughts of a privileged white man. That's all. John Mars, I have beef. I don't really like him. But he did write one of my favorite books, so oops. False Witness, I thought was great. Not a favorite though. Escape Room, it just had a little too much corporate jargon for me. It was a lot of like company dynamics and not a lot of escaping the room. Dying for Christmas, Okay, this one's difficult because the first half of the book was a 5-star. The second half of the book was maybe a 2-star. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put it in good. It was not forgettable though. Butterfly Garden by Dot Hutchison, I will say is great. Serial killer book, very disturbing. Her Pretty Face is also great. Best of Friends by Lucinda Berry, great. Wow, these are some great books back to back. Razorblade Tears, definitely great, but I might have to move it up. I think I'm gonna move it up. I think it's a best of all time. I really love that book. Broken Girls, personally I didn't like it. I thought there were a lot of plot holes and it branded itself as something that it wasn't. 3 Hours, I thought it was great. It is a more emotional, slow-paced book about a school shooting. It's not like you hear 3 hours, you think it's gonna be fast-paced. It's not. So don't go in expecting that. It is very, very heavy, but it's extremely well written. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, I might get some hate for this, but burn it. I don't get it. I don't get any of the hype. It's not good to me. Lie to Me, I will say good, but forgettable. 8 Perfect Murders, I thought that book was great. That is one of the only Agatha Christie adjacent books that I really did like. Behind Closed Doors, y'all, we know we're moving her up. We're moving her all the way up here. Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris, definitely a favorite of all time. Just looking at this section, all these covers together makes me so happy. Perfect Child by Lucinda Berry, that is great, a wonderful thriller, super creepy. Insomnia, I think that one's great as well. Stranger in the Woods, totally forgot about it, don't remember one thing, not a thought in my head. Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose, I thought that was a great book. Girls in the Garden, same thing, really great. Every Vow You Break. See, I would not call this a great book, but it was also not forgettable. I remember every single moment of this book. I feel like I'm missing a category here, but oh well. I definitely don't love this book, but I don't hate it. It's like a guilty pleasure, so I'll put it in good. It's just good. It's fine. It's not forgettable though. Stay Awake. I just read this one and I've already forgotten a lot of it. I think it's a great premise though and a really fun ride. So I'll say it's a good fun time. Hairpin Bridge, burn it, burn this book. I didn't rate it that low when I first read it, and the more that I think about it, the more that I don't like it. It is a very fast-paced read, but it's a lot of the same thing, and it really goes off the rails in a way that I'm not sure a lot of people will enjoy. Good Rich People, I'm going to move this up to great, but not a favorite. It is one of my favorites of the year, but all time, I don't know. We might have to get a little bit deeper than that. The Therapist, good but forgettable. The Lion Club, this one was great. So great. I loved it. Guest List, I would say that's great. Our Kind of Cruelty, personally, I did not like this one by Araminta Hall. It felt like a ripoff of You by Caroline Kepnes, but not as great. Blood Orange, this one's by Harriet Tice. Personally, didn't like it. I saw the twist coming. House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I don't know if this is a favorite of all time, but I thought it was great. I think it's gonna be a very, very divisive book though. Pretty Things, good time, but forgettable. Was kind of long, hard to get into, hard to like remember because I didn't have super close relationships with the characters. For Better and Worse, this was also great. I love that one, super fast paced. Golden Couple, I had a good time reading it, but don't remember anything about it. In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware, I would say that's great, and I know a lot of people would disagree with me, and that's fine with me. The Perfect Stranger by Megan Miranda, I know nothing about, forgettable. My Lovely Wife, ooh, Silence by Samantha Downing. This is the one Samantha Downing book I have read, and I remember the premise. It's like a serial killer wife and husband duo, but I don't remember how I felt about it. I really don't. I think I liked it. I think I gave it like a 4-star, but I don't remember it. Rock, Paper, Scissors, I enjoyed. I don't think it was great. I did like the snowy atmosphere. I'll say it's just good. The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell. Come on, come on, come on. We're moving her up here. That was one of my favorite books of last year as well, and one of my favorite books of all time. I love, love, love Lisa Jewell's writing style. Blindsided by Karen Slaughter. That one is great. I don't know why. We have a little audio moment here. Oh, and I'm kicking the camera. Hostage. I thought Hostage by Claire McIntosh was great. I feel like we're gonna have to zoom out a little bit. Sorry for the ads on the sides, but I just want to be able to see a little bit more. They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. I'm moving this up to best of all time. Love a good revenge female serial killer story. I'll Never Tell. Personally, I didn't like it. It just fell flat for me. It was super, super boring. Sorority Murder. It wasn't bad, but forgettable. Mindfuck series. We're moving this up all the way to favorite of all time. Love this book. It's super campy. I was gonna say not well written, but it's not written with class. This is another one that's a guilty pleasure, but it's a favorite of all time guilty pleasure. Like, I think it does have genuine merit. It was just kind of embarrassing, but okay. Tell Me the Truth by Kirsten Magdalene. Every single Kirsten Magdalene book pretty much is gonna be in this forgettable category. They're just quick, lazy thrillers. I Know Who You Are by Alice Feeney. I think this one's great. Yes, Daddy. I thought it was great. Great LGBTQ rep. Such a Quiet Place. Domestic thriller, forgettable. 9 Perfect Strangers. It did drag for me, but I thought it was very interesting. I'm torn between good and great. I think I'm gonna put it in good because I did forget a lot of the plot. The Collective, I'll say that was great. Hunting Wives is also great. Night Shift, forgettable. Not something you need to run out and read. Luckiest Girl Alive, not something I talk about a lot, but this is like edging best of all time. I really, really like it. I think I read it like 8 years ago-ish, so I need to definitely give it a reread to know if it's a favorite of all time, but really, really like it. Something She's Not Telling Us, burn it. Burn it. Immediately, immediately burn it. I'm gonna try to get rid of these ads. Go away. No free promo over here. None at all. Kind Worth Killing. People are not gonna like me for this, but I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I just thought it was a basic domestic thriller. It didn't blow my mind. I don't get it. I'm so sorry, Ashley. I know that's like her favorite book. Wonderland by Jennifer Hillier. I thought that was great. The Baby Shower by Essie Lines. I thought that was great. Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. That is great. I love, love, love all those. One by One by Ruth Ware. I also thought that one was great. Love the snowy atmosphere. Paris Apartment was good. I feel like I remember more that happened in the Hunting Party than Paris Apartment, and I just read Paris Apartment like a few months ago, so oops. One of Us is Dead. Fabulous. So, so good. Love it. If you love domestic thriller, like rich people drama, you're gonna love One of Us is Dead. I'm thinking of ending things. Don't worry, she's not staying there. She is moving all the way up to the top. We had a long journey with her. I'm thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid. Definitely one of my favorite books of all time. Such a trippy little trip. The Good Daughter is so great. Love, love, love Karen Slaughter. The Party, also great. Love Robin Harding as well. Girl from Widow Hills by Megan Miranda. It was just like kind of meh. I did not like it, but it wasn't like a fun time. I'll just put it there. It's just very meh. Creep by Jennifer Hillier. This was her debut. I think it is great. And to go along with that, let's find Freak as well and put that one in great because that is the sequel. Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. I think I read this in middle school, so really, really long time ago. Don't remember a lot about it, but I don't think it's necessarily forgettable. I'll say it's great. Secrets of Us, forgettable. That one's by Lucinda Berry. Someone We Know by Sherry Lapina, another just forgettable domestic thriller. Couple Next Door, I thought was great. The twist is kind of like, really? That would literally never happen. I think a lot of people saw it coming. I didn't. I think it's great. I Found You by Lisa Jewell, great. Bring Me Back by B.A. Paris, personally, I did not like. Has a male perspective, hated him. Perfect Wife, literally burn it. Hate JP Delaney when he's on his Elon Musk, I'm gonna marry a robot vibes. Hate it. Good Samaritan by John Mars. I have to say this is great because I do think it's great, but I just have a vendetta against John Mars. I'm sorry, John. Sharp Objects, I would say is great. Again, I read this one a long time ago, but I still remember a lot of the plot. I remember the visceral feelings that I felt, and that's a pretty great book. Wife Between Us, I did not like. Thought it was so monotonous and boring. Good Lie, I loved. I think it's great. The Whisper Man, I don't remember anything about. I remember I really liked it, but it didn't stick with me. Didn't form good relationships with the characters. This Might Hurt, I didn't like. I'm not the biggest cult book girl. Survive the Night, you know where we're going. You know where we're going. We're going all the way up here. Come on. This journey with me. Riley Sager. I love Survive the Night. I know. Everyone's gonna hate me for that. It's fine. I'm fine with that. A Good Marriage, I thought was great. This is getting very difficult to maneuver. A Simple Favor, I also thought was great. Let's move her up. You by Caroline Kepnes. All right, here we go, up the elevator. This is one of the first thrillers I ever read that really got me hooked into the genre. I did not know anything could be so skin-crawlingly delicious until I read from Joe Goldberg's perspective. He's also one of the only male perspectives that I can tolerate. The Housewarming by S.E. Lines, really good, really liked it, but don't remember it. Honest Lie, burn it, hated it, wasn't good, boring. Stranger in the House, didn't like it, it was boring. I mean, I feel like many people could like this book. Like, it's not a bad book. I wouldn't burn it, but again, it's just not wonderful. Playing Nice, this was definitely not forgettable at all. I thought that one was great. So good. Such a moral dilemma situation, which I think is really interesting. The Night She Went Missing by Kristen Bird. I did like this one a lot when I read it, but I think I will forget it. Definitely in a year, if not 6 months from now. We Were Never Here. I really liked this vacation vibes thriller with some toxic friendship dynamics. It was great. Final Girls by Riley Sager. I think this one is great as well. The Island by Adrienne McKenty. Definitely not forgettable. I think this one was great. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The Passenger. This is another hard one because it's like Dying for Christmas. First half was a 5 star, second half was a 2 star. I'll just say it was fine. It was right in the middle. If I Disappear, burn it, hated it, absolutely hated it. Worst book of 2021. Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I loved, we're moving this one up. It's a favorite of all time. Love Home Before Dark. Perfect ghosty thriller in my opinion. The Wife Stalker, I didn't like. I thought it was super boring and basic. The Amendment, I had a good time being back in that world, but it was forgettable. Confessions on the 745, again, I don't remember anything about that book. Pretty Little Wife, I thought was great. I think it is severely underhyped, so great. Believe Me by J.P. Zeleny, burn it, 1 star, so bad. When You Disappeared, burn it, 1 star, so bad, definitely one of my worst books of the year. The House We Grew Up In by Lisa Jewell is a favorite of all time, moving her up. I never hear anybody talk about this book. It's criminally underrated. Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell is another favorite of all time. I feel like I don't talk about Lisa Jewell as much as I did when I first started my channel. Y'all OGs know how much I love my queen, Lisa Jewell. Other Side of Everything, I remember nothing about this book. Like, I don't even remember reading it. Just nothing. Family Upstairs, this is like, meh. It wasn't great. It wasn't forgettable, but just meh. Unwanted Guest by Sherry Lapina. This is another like snowy, isolated thriller. I thought it was great. Definitely the best of all of Sherry Lapina's books. Saving Noah. Ooh, this could be an all-time favorite. This really could be an all-time favorite. I don't think it's there yet. I don't think about it enough for it to be up there, but I think it's great. The things that it does for the genre and for mental health rep are wonderful. Something in the Water. Ooh, I thought this one was great. I think it's really, really underrated. What Lies Between Us by John Mars. Personally, I did not like. I hate it when a man tries to have an opinion on women's issues. Please stay out of it, John. The Arrangement, I thought was great. I think the twists were super, super shocking out of nowhere, but I would have liked a little bit more substance and like care about the characters. Blood Sugar, this is my favorite book of the year. Let's move her all the way up to the top. This is definitely a favorite of all time. The Nesting, I thought it was good, don't remember it. The Chain, burn it. I'm sorry, burn it. It was, the first like 100 pages were wonderful. Should have been a novella, would have been a 5-star novella, but the end was inexcusable. Inexcusable. The Night Swim by Megan Golden. I think this book is great. I'm gonna move it all the way up here. The Night the Lights Went Out, very dramatic Southern domestic thriller. It was great. Loved my time reading that. Our Little Secret, don't remember anything about it. When She Returned, personally, I did not like the twist by Lucinda Berry. That was the one that I didn't like. All the other ones, great. Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. I love this book. I thought it was great. Not necessarily a favorite, but great. Loved that. Girl in 6E by A.R. Torre. That's definitely a favorite. Let's move her all the way up here. Come on, girl. That is definitely one of my underrated faves as well. Oh my God, the screen's getting glitchy. Not a Happy Family by Sherry Lapina. I did like. It was a classic murder mystery. Thought it was great. I don't have any complaints about it, just not a favorite. The Bright Lands by John Fromm did the same thing that, oh my gosh, I keep kicking the camera. did the same thing that When No One Is Watching did, which I just don't like that kind of twist. So I kind of want to put it in don't like it, but where did I put When No One Is Watching? I put it in good. I'll just put this one in good so she can be with her little friend. The Replacement Wife, I loved. I thought the atmosphere was great. Unreliable narrator. It was giving classic thriller vibes. Good Girl by Mary Kubica. I also think this one is great. It's got Stockholm Syndrome stuff in there. Big Little Lies by Leigh Moriarty. This one is an all-time favorite. I cannot remember the last time I read a 500-page book in a matter of hours. It was lovely. I ate up all that drama. The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn is also a favorite. This is right up there with Gone Girl, like one of my favorites of all time. Can't beat Gillian Flynn's writing style. And the last one is Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell. I will say, I really, really like this one. It's just like a classic girl gone missing thriller. I think I gotta put it in best of all time. And that evens out all the categories. All right, let's just do a little recap. Here is my best of all time. If you haven't read any of these, I would say go run and do it right now. They are so good. These are my favorites that I would take to a deserted island if I was banished there. These are the books that I would want to bring. These are all really, really solid recommendations. I think you would be happy. Most people would be happy reading any of these. I think they have pretty wide appeal. These are good, not horrible, but it's just not gonna stick with you for a while. You know, they're forgettable, it's fine. And these last two categories are the trash. You might like some in here if you get lucky, and if our tastes don't quite align, then you might like some of these, but these just go ahead and avoid. They're so bad, really horrible. Don't recommend them. They do not have the Hailey seal of approval. Whew, that was a lot of tier ranking. Thank you for sticking with me if you made it all the way through this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to read a book and go to therapy this week. I will see you guys in my next video.